9 go to post in race number 7. It's a Class 3 contest over the 1,200 metres, and they're headed by Fantasy. He comes here on a hat-trick. Joe Moreira being the saddle. He's won at odds on 1.5, 1.6 his last 2 wins. Stanley Park rolled forward last time out. Here comes barrier 5. Oriental Amigo makes his Hong Kong debut, a 2-time winner out of Australia. Relentless Me will be ridden by £10 claimer Jerry Chow, another last start course and distance winner. California Levy gets the blinkers and the hood on for the first time, and Marvel Dragon close to a class drop. A good effort though from back in the pack to finish 6th behind Fantastic Show last time out. The debutantes, Oriental Amigo, is the horse that's been up at Chung Fa Tom in the last month.
Speed here is Stanley Park. Last time out, he was up on the pace. Prior to that, he was able to lead in the early stages over 1,400 metres. So he won a better race last time out. Glenearly General should be able to drop into the trail from gate number 2. Fantasy should get a perfect run, really, on the outside. California Levy has got the blinkers going back on, or the blinkers on for the first time and the hood on for the first time. Then you've got Relentless Me. Wind and Grass is back there with one of the newcomers, Oriental Amigo, for Mi Choi and Dylan Moe.
Here is Fantasy. It looked a bit warm, but it was quite humid that morning with Fantasy. Joe Moreira aboard. Look, he's on the hat-trick. I think he'll start pretty short. He's 2.7 at the moment, but it's early days. He'll come right in, and he goes nicely enough here. Oriental Amigo, I thought I'd show the first starter. He's had 3 trials leading to this, 1,045 pounds. That's him closest to us, 232. And just goes on from his partner horse there. So you can see looks pretty fit. Doesn't carry too much excess at all there. And down the back, Keep You Warm. Look, he's another one with blinkers on for the first time. He's only had the 1 start. He ran last on debut, but he seems to have come on a little bit since then. He can only improve.
He certainly can. All right, well, let's start with the winning form of Fantasy. And he's done it in good style as well, his last 2 wins. Moreira stays on board. He's got on a good gate. Looks like the one to beat for me again, Tom. Yeah,
I think he is. This is not a strong race. He's got gate number 4. Should get really a perfect run. He probably should have won 3 in a row. Of course, he had that really tough trip 3 runs ago behind Transcendent. Since then, he's been brilliant, winning over Handsome Bobo and also Team Spirit, and fought hard for this victory. So he's definitely my idea of the winner. 2.7 looks a great price at the moment.
Yeah, I don't think you'll get that, Tom, but look, he's hit the line strongly. I agree with you. I think he looks tough to beat.
One can dream.
Right. Relentless Me covered a fair bit of ground last time out. It was a tough effort for him to win over the 1,200 metres. And Stanley Park wasn't the worst up on speed. He sort of stuck on.
He did, didn't he, Stanley Park? They'll put the visor on him, take the hood off, and he's likely to lead as well. He's starting to get there, Stanley Park. Look, Relentless Me comes in with he carried 111. Alfred Chan rode him here. He's now coming in with 112 with Jerry Chow aboard. Look, he's going to have his opportunity once again, so I think he's the hardest to beat for Fantasy.
I've got him in the mix. I thought it was a really good run. He was caught wide. He had some cover, and then he was quite wide on the home turn, but really fought them off there. War Room goes around later on in the day and looks a chance certainly as well.
All right. Wind and Grass has spent a fair bit of his time at Happy Valley, but switches back to Sha Tin now, Tom, but sticks to the 1,200 metres.
Yeah, they're trying the 1,200 all right again with him. Couldn't go on last time out. This was his run when 5th a couple of runs ago. You can see him in the pink cap down on the inside, staying on okay there over the final stages behind Beauty Spark. I just think he probably needs a little bit further, but he's certainly capable in a race that doesn't have a lot of depth outside the favourite.
Yeah, it's interesting coming back to Sha Tin, isn't he? He has been running at Happy Valley recently. Yeah, I don't know with him. I would prefer to see him up and trip.
All right. What about this debutant, Oriental Amigo, for Mi Choi? His name was Ruling Symbol when trained by Chris Lees in Australia, Tom.
Yeah, just a nice trial here up in Chung Fa. They don't really go too fast up here. Look, he was pushed out a little bit. 3 trials, 1,045 pounds. I'm happy to watch him in this.
Thanks, Tom. Yeah, it was a good effort over the final stages there in this trial. I didn't think it was too tough for him. Just held together there, but probably want to see him and see what he does. He's related to a few Group 2 enlisted place getters there around the place as well. Was formerly with Chris Lees, but happy to watch him. All
right, Paul, you can have this one then, for real. California Levy. What do we expect him to improve a bit here with the blinkers on?
Yeah, sorry, Tom, I missed that cue. But look, I do. I've actually put him in the numbers. I thought this trial with the blinkers on was a little bit better from him. I don't think it's an overly strong race. He'll be a big price, so I put him in on a 4th line.
First 2 runs weren't bad, and then last time out was just a tad slow. And he was just half a stride slow in that recent barrier trial as well, but I thought the gear changes might help him, so I snuck him in as well.
All right. Fantasy, our favourite, Paul. He's the one to beat, I think.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I think he'll come up pretty short, Fantasy, but he's the one on top to beat Relentless Me. He's in good form at the moment. Glenealy Generals will get his opportunity once again from the low draw. And of the others, I put in California Levy. I just, with those blinkers on and that trial, I think he's on the improve. 1, 4, 8 and 7. And now over to you, Tom.
Thank you, Paul. I've gone with number 1 here, and that is Fantasy. He's going to be the tough horse to beat here. I think he's a horse that you can run through your multis, or your all-ups, I should say, through the course of the afternoon at Sha Tin. So he's on top to beat 5 Wind and Grass, 4 Relentless Me, and 7 California Levy. Didn't mind that recent trial, couple of gear changes as well, and a Karis Teton for Tony Cruz. So 1, 5, 4 and 7, but the 1 stands out, Andrew.
Yeah, absolutely. 1 and 4 is my cue as well, but I have included Wind and Grass once more. 1, 4, 5, my top 3.